Hey y'all, it's your girl Aaron, and I'm going to be playing some Minecraft today. Yay! I'm going to be playing on my peaceful server on the infinite snapshot version of Minecraft, and I have a glitch seed, so yeah, it's pretty fun to play. And I'm currently trying to find a basalt delta. It's proving quite elusive. I also wanted to try and find a bastion, but that just isn't working. So I think I'm just gonna go south and then see if I can spot the basalt delta at any point, or if they just don't spawn on the seed. I'm sure they do, but I've been all over the nether and I haven't found one yet. But I need the blackstone especially because I want to make a bastion looking part in my main base. And so yeah, I want to head south basically, but I don't know if I should just be digging through like that. Maybe I should be trying to go around. But yeah, I am using some mods, so that map is one of the mods. Looks like there's a way through here. Also, if you are interested in the music I'm listening to, you can check out the title, the song and the artist in the bottom of the screen. It should show, and I'll put a link in the description to the song and the licensing and all that, because like I'm trying to use only music that is royalty or copyright free, and try and showcase those artists, because some really good music that is like released as Creative Commons or something like that, and it's really awesome that those artists are allowing people to use the music in their content. So yeah, I wanted to hopefully give them some more attention. Unfortunately, sometimes artists do mark their music as Creative Commons, or that you can use it without royalty or whatever, and then they still end up trying to claim your music. So yeah, it doesn't always work out, unfortunately. But if that does happen, I just don't try playing that song again, like, because that isn't the vibe I'm going for. I'm not, although I don't want to monetize my channel, I just don't want to use music that's going to be claimed, like, you know. Maybe it doesn't have to make sense, but it does to me. Some interesting generation going on here, and I think I just want to keep going south. So I think I'm gonna just go around here. So yeah, I was doing some gardening today. We are in a soul sand valley. I actually have some ender pearls, so I can pearl somewhere if I need to. I wonder if it's worth breaking some of these blocks, because like I do have a shortage of oh, I can actually make some pickaxes potentially, although I don't know if I have a chest. So maybe I should go back to the is it Crimson Forest? Grab some wood. Although there we go. I'm not quite sure where the trees went, but there are some up here. And I can make a pickaxe. What happened to the music? supposed to just keep playing, but I did not want it shuffled. Okay, so I need to make a chest. What are they called? Crafting tables. And then I can make some sticks. I think I want to make a bit more sticks than that. And then, yeah, maybe I'll just make like 3 for now. Okay, cool. Let's grab the table. And then, oh, there's actually quite a few fossil bricks around here. So yeah, I don't know what they get called in other places of the world. Oh goodness me. The Hoglin vs Piglin war continues. And it seems like the Hoglins come off at the top for those more often than not. I wonder if they dropped anything cool. Or if they just died in fire. Well, seems like they just didn't drop anything or it got burnt up. So yeah, I was doing some gardening, so like, yeah, I don't know what they're called in other parts of the world, but we call them weed eaters here, but I think it's called like a trimmer or something in most places. Okay, that's enough quartz. Although, I wonder if I can make, well that's not really going to help, making a quartz block won't really help, because that's still going to end up being 2 spots. Maybe, what can I throw out? I guess I don't need all that netherrack. And then I'm just going to do this. I don't really want to get rid of that, but I do want to make these into blocks. I don't know if it's supposed to be 4, yeah. So that way, you can keep some quartz blocks, and I mean, it's a bit persistent, there we go. I guess I could have like a little fossil thing on the Soul Sand Valley biome part of it. Okay, it seems like the music is moving forward at least. So this is one of my favorite artists. And usually gonna end up playing the music if I have a choice. It's really good. Now, this is looking a bit dangerous. Although, aha, there's like a way down. Okay. I really like the sound of this song. It's like called I Blink, She's Gone. But yeah, it sort of fits, but at the same time, like, I don't know, this song could be, give you a mood of a variety of different things. So yeah, but like basically there's like a tool where it's like a pole with a motor at the end, and then you have like nylon cord, and that gets spun around really fast, and then the nylon cuts the grass or whatever. So we had like a lot of grass growing up in our driveway, and then there's also like basically wherever there's like you would consider your lawn, yeah, we didn't cut the grass or anything, and just kind of left it, and it got a little bit overgrown. And so what I want to do is get like ground covering that doesn't really get too tall, because like grass can get pretty long, and I don't want to keep cutting it. So I want to get some ground cover to grow that you don't need to cut, but that it like stays short. But before we can do that, we do need to clear out the overgrown stuff. So yeah, I had like one of the weed eaters that got left here by the previous owner of the house, and so we were trying to use it, but it just kept cutting out, and so you'd like do like, I don't know, 1 or 2 meters of progress, and then you'd have to wait and try and get the thing to get going again. So I was just like, screw it. It's gonna take forever to, you know, clear out all this stuff we wanted to clear at that pace. Like, yeah, so decided to get a new weed eater. And yeah, that one works like way better. So managed to get some of that done today. It's quite tiring. So now, I think we can just break our way up the rest of the way. I kind of want to just like, because like sometimes when you're at the bottom, you could like get to a point where like there's no way around lava, and it can get like quite difficult to progress. So I'm trying to like not get down to the bottom layer, like there we go. Okay, let's just take a look at the map, right? What's that? So maybe going west a bit first, and then go like, I wonder what's going on with that. It's quite a cool pattern. Yeah, I don't know how to navigate this, to be honest. Maybe I'll have to break out those ender pearls, because this looks like it's just solid. I don't know if I'm at like the wrong heights. Ooh, wait a second. This is basalt. That's one of the blocks I needed. So let's grab some of that. I'm wondering how much to get. Maybe like a stack. So it's kind of weird that this is like in a biome that isn't a basalt delta. Does it look normal? So yeah, the plan is to clear out all that like overgrown stuff, then get like some of the shorter ground cover growing, and then when we put up a fence at the bottom of the garden, and then I'm going to build a little enclosure, so when you go out the door, one of the doors anyway, then there'll be like basically a cage that you're in, and then the cats can go into it, and that'll be cool. So yeah, there's a lot of, I like to think of it as real life Minecraft to do, you know, like terraforming the landscape of the property. So, ooh, that almost ended terribly. But yeah, got a long weekend this weekend, so that's a public holiday on Monday, which is awesome because it's an extra day for gardening basically. Now, that huge ass, maybe I should like end a pearl to there. Wait, just get some distance on this whole journey. Yeah, I don't really know how ender pearls work. Oh, that worked. I will only use them sparingly though. Now, is this gravel? Wow. Okay. There's a whole lot of striders in there. Now, I don't know if I want to go... Maybe I should go up. Like... Or should I just go up like manually? So yeah, I was talking quite a bit about crypto and NFTs and stuff, and yeah, it's like something that I'm quite, I guess, passionate about at the moment, just because I guess I finally feel like I have a grasp on the philosophical impacts of it, whereas like on a technological level I kind of understood it, but also like there was a lot I learned as I was like sharing my thoughts on it and people were responding. So like one of the things that people have responded with is how proof of stake doesn't use a whole lot of computational power and stuff, and like, you know, that's cool and all. I hope they can get it to work, because like nobody has really gotten proof of stake to work before, because there's a lot of ways it can be vulnerable. And so I think it's called like Ethereum 2 is like supposed to be proof of stake, but I guess we have to wait and see if they've actually pulled it off. Now, wait, I feel like, have I gone the wrong way? Is this going, I'm supposed to be going south, right? So I'm kind of going in the wrong direction here, but... I guess like, if I need to go across like a huge bit of lava, I can take like one of those splash or whatever fire resistance potions. Okay, so this is the right way to go. So why did I bridge across the wrong way? Curious. Like, how do I do this? I like just end up going the wrong way sometimes. So yeah, like, the thing is like, even if they get proof of stake to work, all that means is that you have a functional crypto that doesn't have huge computational cost, which is like, so you've solved like maybe the biggest problem that there is with crypto, but you know, you haven't really like gotten, like, you haven't really improved society, because crypto isn't really a positive change for society, like regardless of the computational cost. It's just why, you know, like money is imaginary, right? But that imaginary money gets backed by like some other government, and you know, whereas like crypto isn't backed at all by anything other than like the market. And like, even if you don't like the government, I think, okay, so going south is really difficult, it seems. At least for me. Yeah. So like, having a cryptocurrency that doesn't have a huge computational cost, that isn't really making crypto not a scam anymore. It's just making it less of a costly scam for society to run. But it's still basically this, you know, currency that has no purpose to exist other than to get you outside of government reach, I guess. But that isn't like a good thing, you know? Like, capitalism without government regulation is worse, not better. But anyway, I'm gonna make some videos about that on my main channel. But I didn't want to just have the same discussion again. Alright, so now I'm actually starting to go south. So yeah, I would really like there to be software that, you know, further progresses like a more leftist cause, rather than software that like brings society further and further into, hey, don't make a noise. Yeah, like crypto like further ingrains society in capitalist ways of doing things, you know. Oh crap. That sucked. Trying to hold it together. Okay. Well, the biggest loss there is the enterprise. Just going to need a moment to regulate my emissions. And that's prismarine, not cobblestone. Get an axe. Okay, so the quest for the basalt altar is going to continue. Now, I was actually like there, right? So I think what I should do, like what nether waste? So yeah, I'm just gonna head south from here, I think. I'm gonna have to get lower. Yeah, okay, so yeah, like I think part of the problem with crypto is that it's like fancy technology, and so people always end up being impressed by fancy technology, and so, you know, if there's like some new fancy technology that furthers the interests of capitalism, you know, makes us accept the premise of capitalism that like ownership and transactions and all that is like this huge important thing, like worth spending half as much electricity as we do on the entire internet on supporting, you know, some ledger for ownership and transactions. Like, it is just buying into that as a worldview, and you know, that is a scam in a way. Like the concept of capitalism is a scam. The concept of hierarchy, you know, hierarchy is an inherent scam because it's treating people as though they, you know, that it's okay that they have different levels of authority and power and stuff. Like, for what reason? You know, like, what is it? You know, it, like, just because that's the way things may have been organized in the past, but not the entire past, only like, you know, a portion of the past, doesn't mean that. So it's like, if you look at technological advancement, right? Usually, when a new technology is invented, like almost always the first thing, not like in general, but like as happened, is that it's been used by people who have power to get more power. And that's basically what's happening with crypto as well, is that you know, it helps those who are already invested in capitalism. You know, it provides new ways for them to make money. But the impact on society is a negative one, because streamlining capitalism doesn't help us, you know? Like, doing things in a way that is outside of capitalism is what helps us. Being able to get people's needs met without transaction, without a market, without money, that's really beneficial to society. Especially if we could do that for everything. You would do away with poverty. You just would, you know? You'd do away with inequality. Like, those are actually good things that are achievable, but they need people to be working on it, and it's not going to happen out of nowhere. It's not going to happen automatically. The incentives for capitalism and those involved in it are for such a thing to never happen, because, you know, it's like the ones who have zero power are the ones who need a change from capitalism the most. But because they have zero power, they're the least able to see, what they want happen. And the people who have the most power are the ones who are already being treated well and successful via capitalism. And so they're the ones with the power to see their vision, and their vision is for things to continue the way they are because the way they are has treated them so well. It's classic for every kind of privilege, not just having material wealth. So the incentives are for the transactional and ownership nature of society to continue forever. You will never naturally drift away from that. Even if you got to a post-scarcity society, people would still use markets, transactions, and ownership to organize society beyond scarcity, because that's the way that they think, that's the way they think it should be, that's the way they like it, that's the way they want it to be. The people who benefit the most from that will use the power which they have the most of to. So crypto is not revolutionary, crypto is regressive. Crypto is going back, going back to a time when wealth was, like the wealthy are able to influence society a lot, but they don't have a monopoly on popular discourse and opinions on what should happen and stuff. And if the entire world were to adopt crypto, well, we would all just be buying into their ideology, and the people who want a non-capitalist world would have a much steeper hill to climb. And so that might actually be what ends up happening. We might end up adopting crypto as mainstream in society, and it may be much harder for people who want like a non-capitalist world to make it happen, and that's not good. And it's crypto that is facilitating that extinguishing of like things that were previously not tracked as ownership, or were at least tracked by the government, which can tax it and presumably implement policies that are pro-worker. Like, so yeah, we need like that kind of flashy technology, but it's like it's not going to happen on its own, and so the people who want it to happen need to make it happen, but they're also almost always not able to because of their financial situation. So capitalism like sort of forces you to play their game and like do at least some things in a capitalist way, or else you end up not having your needs met. And so that's why I, for example, have to work a day job, because if I did what I really wanted to do, which would be to make socialist software, then I wouldn't be getting paid for it, and I wouldn't want to get paid for it, because kind of like by definition, if you pay for software, it's not socialist. Like, as I was saying, like the transactional and ownership way of thinking is capitalist, not socialist. So if you are going to make software or games or content that is anti-capitalist, but then you're going to try and make money off of it, then you're just using the ideas of socialism to do capitalism. And I think it's important to not do that, because you will never actually get where you want to go that way. Like, at best you'll make anti-capitalist ideas more mainstream, but nobody is going to actually be implementing them the way that people are like lots of developers are spending their time like programming crypto or whatever, or programming apps for some other corporation that are based on business models of making money and stuff. Like open source is very much being killed in a way. Like all the best open source initiatives, some or other corporation has like taken over, and you know, that kind of smothers, you know, the ability for those technologies to be disruptive to those corporations. Okay, I gotta go. I'm right at like this weird pattern. Whoa. So yeah, like, so I need to be going south, right? But why is it like, maybe I need to go in that cave there. Don't fall in the lava. It's like one of the only things I'm really good at in Minecraft is falling in lava. But yeah, I would like love to make software that was socialist in nature, and like maybe if that software existed, like you wouldn't have so many people falling over crypto and being like, ooh, this is the future, blah blah blah, because they'd be like, no, this is actually not even as good as this other software that is not capitalist. Jeez, that's a lot of lava. Okay, so still no basalt deltas anywhere in sight. I could try and go west. I wonder if that'll save me from crossing immense pockets of lava with no pearls or potions. Like, how do you even drink a potion? Because like I tried to drink it, I even like had it highlighted on the hotbar, and then I was pressing buttons but none of them drank it, and then I died. I wish like you didn't die so quickly in lava in Peaceful, because it's like everything else in Peaceful makes it like that, you know, it's easier to survive and stuff, and then lava is just like an insta death so much of the time. So you gotta kind of play the capitalist game a bit, but not with the actual like software that you're trying to create. Because if you try to succeed as a capitalist in that, then you've defeated your own purpose. So it forces you to basically like have two jobs, where one of them is you got to use to like pay your bills and stay alive, and then the other one is like the actual stuff you want to be doing, stuff that you consider to be good for society, that is, you know, not by definition and by its nature not monetizable. And if you can't sort of support yourself on only one job, then that's just completely impossible. So, and the thing is, like, even if you can, like, that one job might be like a big enough job that you know, like, you don't have time or energy left over. So it's a real conundrum, because like you're not gonna get any like investors, you know, like if you wanted to build an app for capitalism, then you know it's going to have the ability to be monetized, and so you can like get somebody to loan you money, and in exchange they get like some ownership of you know, the IP or the company building whatever, and then when you start making money, then they earn back their investment. So there's like a mechanism for things to go from not funded to funded, as long as there's a way to monetize those things. But if what you're trying to do is build something that is actually like for the public good, then you don't have that opportunity, you know. And while once you have something built already, then you may be able to get support via like charity and donations and stuff, but it's like people aren't willing to do that beforehand. It's like even something like Kickstarter, it's like, you know, you might be crowdfunding the start of something, but again, it's, you know, tied so closely to capitalism that, you know, there's like a reward, and like you have to get a reward. So even though it's supposed to not be like purchasing, it ends up just being like a pre-order with extra steps, which may get like things made that weren't made before, but it's still all in service of like furthering capitalist interests, you know. So somebody with a lot of money, if they just like were to throw their money away, then you know, then they'd have less of it. So, and they might be scared of running out of money, even if they have a whole lot of it. Who knows? Like, you know, when that's the thing about ownership, is the more you own, the more fearful you get of losing what you have. It's just, you know, and part of you knows that others don't have what you do, so it's logical to fear losing what you have, because, you know, if justice occurred, that's what would happen, you know. And obviously, like, my idea of justice would be to not take away people's property, but to produce things and for, you know, for people because they need them, not out of money. And then the person who has like a whole bunch of shit, they don't get to leverage that and get the things they want. They have to go to the back of the queue like everybody else, because money and property and exchanging and trading isn't how you get what you need. You get what you need by needing it, and out of cooperation people will meet that need. So yeah, it's like a really difficult problem to solve, because like you have to have something already built before people are interested in supporting you. But if what you're trying to build isn't monetizable, you know, by its nature, then how do you get to that point where you have something built? Now, some people will just, you know, work on it in their spare time or whatever, you know, or save up enough money that they can like quit their job and post on it. But like that's like way more money than I have access to. I need to make some more pickaxes. Let's do that. So it's like if somebody who was rich, if they became an anti-capitalist, for example, and they decided that, you know, they're going to take all their wealth and give it to people who needed it, and for example to like projects that were based on mutual aid or anti-capitalist ideas or things that are unmonetizable. And so they were like, like, okay, you're trying to build a peer-to-peer decentralized social network. I have a whole bunch of money and I'm going to give some to you so that you can make it, and then then you could get that money, make the thing. It would be something people would value, so you'd get support, so you would be able to continue developing it even if random rich dude stopped giving you money. And so it's like that initial development phase, that's the thing that is not possible, and you're not going to get someone like that. And even if you did, who would end up getting support? I'm almost 100% sure it's not going to be someone who's non-binary and autistic, because there's just so much bigotry and aversion from society for people like that if they had to choose between someone who's a cishet neurotypical and someone who's a non-binary and autistic to give the grant to, it's not even a competition. They'll being because of capitalism, it's like capitalism gets people to think hierarchically and think that there's certain types of people that are a better investment, you could say. It's like you'd need somebody to completely think not like a capitalist. And the thing is, if you did have someone who completely thought not as a capitalist, then that's the kind of person who's not going to have tons of money. So capitalism is very secure. It's not really threatened, because even the ideologies that have better answers have no way to get themselves progress, to have the money or whatever to work on it. You'll find the money if what you want to do is something that doesn't threaten capitalism. So, if you were even if you were a Marxist-Leninist and you wanted to overthrow the government and replace it with your own party that would take full control over the economy and stuff, that is still not really a threat to capitalism. It's just a different way of doing capitalism, and in some ways, if it's successful, it strengthens capitalism, because you're still doing things transactionally, you still have money, you still have hierarchy, you still have all of that. Something that, even if you're a Marxist-Leninist organization, you'll get funding. You can get funding, it's possible. But try and do something that is actually a threat to capitalism, that isn't just trying to put different people in charge of it, but is trying to make it an obsolete mechanic, something that nobody cares for and nobody wants to use because they don't see the point in using it, because there's so much better ways of doing things. The people who realize that, they generally not the ones with a lot of money. Because instead of spending your time perfecting your money-making skills, you spent your time figuring out how society could function without money. But like, just because you come up with like an answer, how do you actually get it implemented? Like, you pretty much can't. So I'm doing what I can, obviously, to try and get achieved anyway. Oops. Where am I? I'm like in the middle. I think I want to go east. It's like not a very easy to traverse part familiar here. So yeah, so there is stuff I want to do, like a peer-to-peer social network, like socialist games and stuff. If I didn't have to work a day job and I could spend, 100% of my time on that kind of thing, then, given enough time, like maybe months or years, I'd have something really cool that might be able to get me support. But, I don't know if people know how much time and energy goes into building that kind of stuff. Like, if you have a day job, to do that kind of thing on the side is really difficult, especially if you're someone who has, disabilities, or like you don't have a lot of energy or spoons or whatever. Okay, I should be like able to get in the open somewhere at some point. So yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I will ever get there, but so it's almost like I haven't really even started, because it's like I want to have like the best chance of success, and one of the biggest problems with developing, like, even if it's something like a game or whatever, or like a social network, whatever, is like, even if you build it, like, that doesn't mean people will care and will use it and stuff. So in some ways you've got to get people to, you've got to have like an audience basically, and then but then it's like, how do you get an audience before you've made the thing? But if you make the thing without an audience, then it has a low chance of succeeding. It's a very difficult problem. So my plan has been to make entertaining content or philosophical content, share my thoughts, share my ideas, share my creativity, and then hopefully can get an audience by doing that, so that when I try something like socialist software or something like that, that there will be a whole bunch of people who can give feedback, who will be interested in it, can test it or whatever. And so yeah, like, I feel like the only thing stopping me from living my dreams and living my dream life is money. Because like, I need like someone to just like be like, okay, here's whatever, like, I don't know, $50,000 a year or something, for like 2 or 3 years. Like, that would like change my life completely, and I'd be able to transition from working for a boss to working on my own stuff. And I guess that's also why I think something like UBI would be cool. Because like, you know, that would make it less of a stretch. Okay, so now I need to go south. Ooh, I picked up something new. A pork chop. Oh, I'm not gonna eat that. Gross. Who would eat animals? Weird. You seen an animal? You wanna nom that? Got some issues, friend. But yeah, I also can't wait forever, you know. I'm gonna run out of life at some point, unfortunately. So my strategy of like trying to get an audience and then transition to working on stuff after, I may just give up on it at some point. Maybe just try and build the stuff without an audience. I'll see how it goes. Because like, if I'm not interesting enough to have an audience, then I don't want one. I don't just want one for the sake of wanting one. I want one because I think I have good ideas and I want to share them, and I want, you know, maybe like, you know, like something like Patreon, where like if I could get, you know, like, I don't know, 1,000 people to donate like $3,000 or whatever, then that would be a way to not have a day job. But then you get back into the old problem of like, you go into Patreon, like people tend to want rewards and stuff, and it's like, just, it's not the same. It's like you can't conjure, it's like no matter how badly I want to do something, no matter how much I feel like I can do it, doesn't mean it's actually possible. And maybe that's life. Maybe life is thinking you have answers to solve most of society's problems and then never having the ability to further that. It just can't be done alone unless you already have a whole lot of money. South is that way. This nether is like so difficult to traverse. I'll just drop down. I'm just like so surprised that there's like no basalt altars anywhere. I'm like legit starting to wonder if the seed is like part of its glitch is that no basalt altars spawn. Because even like if you look on like chunk base, there's like tons of them all over. It's like basalt altars everywhere. I don't know if I'm not reading it properly or what, but like I just never can find them. I mean, same with bastions. What's that? I saw something. So yet again, there's like no basalt altars anywhere. What the hell? maybe I should go... I'm just gonna keep looking for one, you know, like what else can I do? I'll find, like I'll either search the entire nether or find one, whatever comes first. This is no longer like a series on custom portals and stuff. This is a series on finding a basalt altar despite none of them existing. I mean, like, I have gotten some people supporting me on Patreon, but it's hard to tell what exactly to do, because it's like, am I just not the kind of person people would like to support, or is my content not good enough? Or is it just the way it is, and it's just really difficult to get support in general? And then it's like some people have like gone from not successful to successful, but then it always ends up being people who like are very easily integrated to those who have a lot of popularity already. If you have opinions like that there's no such thing as a binary gender, then that tends to make people not want to be interested in helping you out. Because like, one of the things that can really help you a lot as a creator is if other creators do things like collab with you, or you know, to do interviews, or like give you a shout out, whatever, and then that like can help people who have similar interests as you or whatever, or who might be interested in your content, to actually hear about you, rather than, you know, they might be interested in you but they just don't know about you. But it seems like you have to be neurotypical and think that binary gender is a real thing before people really want to help you out like that. And it's like, people could say like, no, it's not that, it's just me. But it's like, but me is dictated by that, and when people invalidate me and treat me like those things make me lesser, and if I stand up for myself, then I come across as, you know, whatever negative thing they'd like to paint me as, because in standing up for myself, I'm like not fitting into the mold they want, where it's like civility and not holding people accountable for harmful views. Like, people call themselves anarchists but then say things like justified hierarchies exist, or, you know, you'll have contracts in anarchism, and they just have like these really far out non-anarchist opinions, and then call themselves anarchist, and then everyone else just accepts it as is. And if you try to point out like, hang on, that's like not anarchist, then you're the one that gets shut out, not them. So I don't know, maybe there's no solution. It's cool how many fortresses there are, but like, honestly, I'd rather have like no fortresses and have basalt altars than have fortresses everywhere and no basalt altars. Yeah. Oh no. Like, I really like this seed, but I don't know if you can tell, but the lack of basalt deltas like genuinely bothers me. I don't want to be doing like 5 to 50 to 500 episodes looking for frickin' biome. I want to be building stuff. Maybe going west, which is this way. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm really like grateful to have someone like my boyfriend in my life, because there's at least one person who cares about my ideas and wants to see me succeed. Maybe if one person sees that value in me, others will eventually, but I don't know, maybe I just need to wait for society to get less transphobic, to get less like autistic phobic, autphobic. I don't know. I don't want to actually call it autism phobia anymore, because I don't really want to call it autism. It's not really autism. The ism just completely makes zero sense to be putting there. You don't say someone is right-handedism. I've got right-handism. No, you say I'm right-handed. I'm autistic. I don't have autism. There's no such thing as autism. There's a thing called being autistic, but it's not an ism. I think the DSM has done more harm than anyone realizes. So many things that are just either normal human reaction to oppression or capitalism, or just diversity that are pathologized and treated like a disorder or an illness or something. Like even all the names we use, like ADHD, like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or something, it's like, even that is like, that, first of all, that isn't what it's like being ADHD. It's not like having attention deficit or hyperactivity. It's, you know, it's like having you know, hyperfocus and like getting bored easily and having a lot of ideas, and you know, being interested in a lot of different things. Like the world is just so messed up. It's like super dystopian. Like all the dystopian movies I watched when I was younger, and I always used to think like, wow, it would be so bad if, you know, the world ended up like that. But the more I learn about the way things are, the more I realize like it's worse than we already live in a world that's worse than anything in a dystopian movie. Just because those movies might have some form of oppression or whatever that's like super visible, that doesn't make it better. In fact, it's worse that nobody knows or even can tell the oppressions that are going on. Like, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing me. That's all I can do, you know. It's like, even if I spend my entire life never being able to achieve the things I want to do, I feel like if I at least put my ideas out there, there's a chance that they might happen. Someone might, you know, see value in them and implement them after I die or something. It's like at this point, I put content out there more for the archaeological significance than anything else, because like I just don't, it doesn't feel like things will happen in my lifetime. It's like a lot of people know that there's problems in society, but they just come up with like all the worst possible solutions. And if you want to do something that is an actually good solution, you don't get any support for it because everybody's trying to do the bad solutions. Anyway, let me describe. So, if you are a future historian and the world is completely taken over by capitalism, everything in the world is transactional, ownership rights mean everything, but you don't know if it's the best thing. You have a feeling that maybe we took the wrong path as a society, maybe we could have changed, maybe there's a better way to do things, and somehow came across my content, then maybe you're the one who will be able to put these ideas into action. And I guess if you're wondering why nobody did before, then you know why. It's because things that society really needs are things that are systemically excluded from happening because they're by their nature are not monetizable, because monetization is part of the fundamental flaw in society. Sorry. Why is there like such huge things in forests everywhere? I feel like I should go north. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could like talk about things that were maybe less abstract or less like personal in a way, but I guess I'm just like, that's the things that are going through my mind, you know. And I guess there's not that much value to it. I don't know, maybe I'm obsessing with value too much. Maybe I should just do what I want to do and not care if other people care. I just wish I didn't have to do it as a second job. And it's like, you only have so much free time, so if you have to work a day job and then you gotta spend your time when you're not working your day job on the things you think are important, but they're not, you know, they still work, then, but I mean, I guess I should be happy because at least I only have to do one job. I don't know. being happy that things aren't worse doesn't really work for me. It doesn't make me want things to be better any more, less, you know. So yeah, I don't know. One of the things I was thinking of doing is trying to work on some videos for my main channel that are a bit more polished, and sort of hope that, you know, like they go viral or something. Because they are, it's like videos about things that I think are like literally the most important in the world to be discussed, spoken about. Guess I'm going west, right? But I can't. So yeah, like something like the software for like anti-capitalist software is like to have a peer-to-peer platform where it's invite only, and like so my thinking is that you'll have to have 3 invites. I mean, the number is not super specific, but that's just the number that I started with. But you have to have 3 invites in order to gain access to that network. So there could be like multiple, like maybe you have one for your neighborhood community, and you have one for your activist pals or whatever, you know. The fact that you have to have 3 invites is so that only people who are vouched for and trusted by others can use the platform. And I guess I need to go. Is the nether always like this difficult to traverse? Probably. And so then what you'd do is you'd make it that people have to, like when you vouch for someone, when you're inviting them to the network, if you vouch for them, you're also agreeing to co-host their posts. So if they post a status update or a selfie or whatever it is to their wall, as the person who invited them, the system will automatically send people to you to get their picture if the person who originally uploaded it is offline. And that can be a way to make stuff available even when people aren't online. And so there's an actual cost to it as well, you know, in literal data, because you're going to have certain amounts of storage space on your device to be able to store the data that they are posting, and give a certain amount of your... Seriously? I wonder if there's like a way to locate biomes in-game. It's like so random that there's no basalt deltas. There's a command called locate biome, but it's not working. Maybe I have to have cheats enabled. How did you do that? I mean, there's the whole op. That also seems to be unknown. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna keep looking. Because like, if I look at chunk base, so what am I coordinating this right now? Minus 1511. Minus, so wait, that's x. Minus 15. And then positive 1000. So bring up the map. Okay, according to this, maybe the basalt delta just doesn't have a name. Okay, because I'm at Z1000. Because there's supposed to be a basalt delta at like minus 17,000 plus 1200. So like there. There's also meant to be one at what is this? Minus 15 plus 700. It's like I don't know if chunk base is working at all, because like it's got basalt deltas all over and I don't see them. But yeah, let's try this one. So like what? Minus, so plus 700. So I'm at plus 1000, so I gotta go north. So in theory, if I go north 300 blocks, oh, I survived. I'm really doubting it's gonna be there. And now I guess I gotta go up again. Yeah, I don't know, I think maybe I just need to maybe not think about it as much. It is beyond my control. Ugh, such a difficult nether to traverse, because now I'm back to like just having to dig through who knows how far. So maybe there's a way around. Like it's... maybe. I don't know. I need to be going north. Yeah, I guess that's like the problem of talking about crypto and stuff, is like people always end up being like, well, what's the solution then? And it's like, why don't you, instead of like criticizing blockchain, what if you make whatever it is you think is going to be better? And it's like, you just fundamentally don't understand the world. Like, there's an endless supply of capitalists with a lot of money trying to find new ways to make money. That's one of the easiest things in the world. The hard thing is achieving something that isn't in the capitalist's favor. Parkour. Parkour dreams are ending. You know, I think it's just so BS. There's no basalt delta here. Okay, now, okay, so I'm at minus 1640 plus 750. I'm literally in a basalt delta according to Chunkbase. Excuse me. I don't know, I'm really starting to wonder if like they just don't spawn in this seed. Okay, so maybe they don't. Maybe that's just the reality I have to live with. So, okay, so I know that basalt is in these like pillar things, but now I don't have my pickaxe. Okay, let me get some wood. Cool. And then this. This is the right music for my mood. Let's bring this off. That's interesting. I've seen this in other places in the world. There's just like this TF thing. It's a weird shape that seems to get made. So I think, yeah, I'm like almost ready to give up looking for basalt altars. Like it's so absurd to even be considering it, that like they don't exist on this world. But like there's only so much you can explore, and I want to like, I'd love to like explore the seed for what's in it, rather than like desperately trying to find something that's not, just because it is in every other world, and I can't think of any reason for it to not be in this one. So I kind of just want to keep going north, I think, which is that way. It's like, that's the thing that sucks about this nether, is like, if you're at the bottom level, you get to these huge lava oceans that you can't cross. If you go up a level, you just come across like dead ends that you have to like mine straight through. Oops. Yeah, there's a fortress here, which is interesting. I wonder if like basalt altars got replaced with fortresses in Seed. I'm gonna go up to the top of this fortress. I guess, yeah, it's like constantly comparing yourself to others, because in order to get to the point in your life where you want to be, requires you to like achieve the things that other people are achieving, and it doesn't always seem possible without, you know, like how do you go about achieving it on your own? Ah, it's a blaze spawner. I didn't know the spawning blocks still built, even though they don't actually spawn. It's like quite a long bridge. Ooh, it keeps going a little bit. So I'm gonna go north some more. Oh, did I get to the end of my playlist? Seems like it. I just want to keep going for a little bit. Yeah, I think probably the best thing for me is to just keep plodding along what I'm doing and to not care about success. So the hard part in that is it means things like not this fortress thing. You know, it means like things like making socialist software, for example, is just completely out of the question. I just have to kind of treat that as something that I'll never do, despite it being my biggest dream, just because it is something that I will never do unless something changes, unless I guess in some ways enough people believe in me to want to see it happen. Oh, I can get some more basalt, y'all. Like part of the reason why I'm doing this Minecraft thing is because I feel like it might take a long time, but eventually I can build something that is something people would be really impressed by, and you know, it's something that just kind of takes creativity, but like I can do it alongside my real job, and it doesn't take like huge amounts of energy and stuff. I really like thought that these fortresses had chests in them sometimes, but this one doesn't seem to. I mean, I can travel pretty fast just by following them, but yeah. So like it's kind of difficult to like give up on your dreams in a way, but I think sometimes you have to do it just to find peace in a way, you know? I mean, I'm not giving up. That's what I was saying, I want to make videos that have a chance of going viral and have like just different strategies of trying to break through from having no prospects to having some. Where are we? We are still... There's another waste there. I guess I could try and go east. If I can find a way of going east, and at least I'm heading back to the base, and who knows, maybe there's a basalt delta in between here and there. But I don't know if there is an easy way to go east. Like it was kind of easy to go north when I could just go along those near the fortresses. going east, so there's that. Where is this like so-called pattern on the map? I don't know if it's above or below me. I think it might be above because it seems to be starting to come through. I mean, it's kind of interesting to have a nether that doesn't have any basalt daughters in it, but at the same time, that's literally like my favorite nether biome. And like, I just wanted to find one. Okay. Do we have an easy way of going east? That is still the question. Sometimes if it's like repeating, you find the right way around the repeatings. Yeah, like this. So for as long as this repeats, but like now I've kind of got into the end of it. Although it does continue at the end of this section. But I gotta go up again to that same height, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just going through like a difficult time in life. You know, the whole people trying to kill me, losing my job last year, and maybe I can figure something out just given time. Like at one point, like when I first started making YouTube videos, at the time I found like a lot of cool content creators whose videos I liked, and I wanted to share them with people. So I was doing like I was doing something called Left Tube Tonight, where I would like feature a whole bunch of videos that I thought were worth watching and stuff, and like a lot of people responded positively to that. Like even this like popular creators who kind of don't like me anymore, I guess, but you know, like, so I guess if I'd kept doing it as is, like I just did it as like this is a bunch of videos you can watch, like, and that was it, it may have stayed popular and I may have been able to get like shoutouts and stuff from popular people and grow the channel and all that stuff, but I kind of felt like I didn't want to do that because like a lot of the time one of those creators would like make content that was like not harmful, that was harmful, not helpful, and I'd want to like tell them, because I guess I naively thought that it was like a case of people wanting the best for others and not to themselves be part of the problem. And so to me it wasn't enough to just showcase good content. I wanted there to be real relationship, like that, you know, I wanted to like be able to interview people and for there to be like a variety of different voices, and then for like if somebody was like, I don't know, transphobic, then somebody who was trans you know, like to offer their countering opinion, and then like have there is a chest. Woo! Now, ooh, you get diamonds and nether warts. Okay, I don't need those. And a flint and steel, which I don't need, so I'll just leave it. I wonder what you do with nether warts. See, I knew these things had chests in them. Okay, I need to... Well, now the nether fortress is going east, so I guess I can put it. Here's another chest. Cool. Some diamonds, some gold, which I guess I don't need. Now, is there a way for this to keep going? Look, it's such a cool seed. If only it had basalt daughters, which if I'm not mistaken are still completely missing. Though I like the way I can go in specific directions so easily when I get like one of these big nether fortresses. Ooh, I'm actually interested in this. Oh, that's just the spawner. Okay. So I need to go this way. But yeah, so after that, so I wanted there to be like more community, and then like there were people like Mexi who were talking about how we need critical connectedness more than we need critical mass, where we need connectivity where it's like real people connecting with each other in real relationships, and for me that like really like stood out to me as like very valuable information or ideal. And so, you know, what good is it to have more people if it's all still distance from each other, you know? So yeah, I wanted to have more of like a community, and then I had like some interviews that I was going to do with other creators, and I actually did the one interview. I think we tried to do the interview like 2 or 3 times, but I had problems with the audio the first couple times, and then the one that where it actually had successfully had the content, like my computer got stolen, so I lost the footage, and then I never had the equipment or the motivation to keep going with that, and I don't know if that same person still wants to do an interview with me, but like basically like a lot of bad things happened in my life. Like, I got divorced, lost like pretty much all my money in the divorce, and basically then it was like a choice between renting somewhere or like buying another house, but to buy another house cost me a lot of debt and then it was still manageable, but then I lost my job and also kept having my computer stolen, which is quite expensive to replace because it's like I need like a computer that has relatively good stats because I do like programming and stuff, which takes a lot of memory and computation, and so yeah, I just never recovered from that, and just more and more bad things keep happening. So it's like I never get the opportunity to recover. I don't want to like go so far that I go like past, like where's actual spawn? Okay. It's like here somewhere, right? I think it's like here somewhere. So I basically still got quite a long way to go. Oops. I wanted to like line up with the glitches again in case I can get the easy routes. Which I guess with enough time I'll recover, and I'm not gonna like make those kinds of videos again because it's like if I'm featuring someone's content and then that same person is like acting like really not nicely to me, like, or you know, they like putting out content that's like transphobic or pro authority or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it's like I don't want to promote that, and I don't want to like, I don't want to feel like it's like I want to do things in community, you know, like, and I don't want to like be like supportive of a community that's not supportive of me. So maybe it's a good idea and I'm just not the right person to implement it. But maybe I'll find something that is right for me. And like one of the things that inspired me to start doing YouTube videos is a channel called Libertarian Socialist Rants, because like he would like have videos where he was talking, or I don't know if they still use the pronouns he or not, but yeah, they would like, oh, I love this song. Gotta get around this lava pool. I got so much netherite. But yeah, they would like be talking or reading, I think, some like really good text, and then have like pictures or video clips that add like context or like illustrating what's being said or whatever. and that format was like really engaging because you are able to absorb the words easier when you have those visual cues, and it's just like, you know, a nice way to consume those thoughts. So they don't really make those kinds of videos anymore. I know they like went to university or college or something and had like a lot going on, so I don't know if they plan to make them again or not, but that format, like, really, I really liked it, and so I was thinking maybe I should do some stuff of a similar format. So those are the videos where, you know, I'm saying like I'm hoping they can go viral or something, because like those aren't my opinions, you know, I'm sharing them like because I think they're good, and if I can make it easier for people to consume those ideas, then, you know, then that's good. Like, I think there is value in like putting things in your own words, which is what I've normally done, but I think also people kind of sometimes don't want to respect you unless you have qualified yourself in some way. Like, interestingly enough, if you were to like go to university and study like something, like say you're studying like anarchism or something, like that already automatically like legitimizes your opinion to many people, even though that's like shouldn't be how anarchists think. Although in all likelihood, like a lot of those people who are fans or not really anarchists, they just like anarchist ideas, but they haven't really gotten it yet. But yeah, basically like nobody wants to take you seriously unless you are validated by someone else that's already been taken seriously, because this is capitalism. Now, what do I do? Well, I think I do need to end it off soon. Oh god. Is there like maybe something above me? So many like huge lava pits. Maybe the basalt altars have just been replaced by lava pits. Okay. I'm free! I kinda need to go north-ish now, right? Yeah. So that's that way. So bastions and basalt altars don't exist in this sea, apparently. Ooh, I think I've been here before. This is like the most piglined up area in all of the seeds. I kind of want to put a waypoint. Like my other waypoint disappeared weirdly, but yeah. There's a lot of piglins here. None of these look like pigs. In case I'm ever looking for like tons of piglins. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do when it comes to... I have to like leave out the basalt delta part of my nether room for now. Because I'm honestly done looking for basalt delta. Like, there's only so much I can look, and I mean, I've looked freaking everywhere. Not a single basalt delta. Like, this is like, you're literally talking about 2,000 blocks away and 1,000 blocks in another direction. And nothing. So, I'm gonna try like, go to other dimensions, and then hopefully one of those other dimensions has, you know, what's it? Blackstone in it. Because it sure as hell doesn't seem to be in the actual nether. It's also weird how there's no bastions. And it's weird how like Chunk Base will say there are, but there's not. And like, can't be sure because it is a glitch seed, so maybe they honestly aren't. There's like a lot of piglins there as well. Maybe I need to go up. Okay, I'm still going relatively north. Where's spawn? I think it's like here. Okay, so I may have gone too far north. Okay, well, anyway, I think I am gonna stop the video for now. I don't want it to get too long. It's been like 2 hours, so anyway, that was just me exploring the nether, not finding any basalt deltas, and whining about my problems in life. But I will get there eventually, and yeah, I don't know. If this type of thing isn't interesting, just like stop watching for a couple months or something and then come back and see where I am. But I don't know, I'm just putting myself out there, and it doesn't matter, I guess, one way or the other. It is what it is. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye!